A booming marijuana business bringing in $250 million. But an audit says it may be missing some safety guardrails. Our Missouri Capitol reporter Hannah Falcon joins us live now. She's been looking into what state regulators found. And also, Hannah, consumers could be at risk here.
That's right. This marijuana industry brought in $255 million just in tax revenue last year. So booming is to say the least. But this report, it's 77 pages long from the state auditor's office, and it found some significant issues that might be putting consumers at risk. The overall program was given a fair rating despite these issues found because it was a very large undertaking to put this program in place in the first place. The audit found dispensaries, though, they may be keeping sensitive customer information without asking for permission and could also be unknowingly selling people more than the legal limit of cannabis. Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says this could lead to black market issues.
Somebody's able to get more than they should, then they could provide it to others, or basically just circumvent the protections that are supposed to be in place.
The Department of Health and Senior Services, which oversees this, refutes many parts of this very large report, but it doesn't refute this part. It says it's trying to implement new tracking measures to make sure that people are not buying more than the legal limit. Reporting live in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, KCTV 5 News.
Hannah, thank you.